Oh, absolutely. Huge shout out to the staff here. In the cafeteria, they were fantastic. Everybody around, security. It's top notch over here. It really is, and we feel safe. We got some really good food. I think we all know that. But yeah, it was a good time staying in the dorms and getting to know guys better and developing that team camaraderie. I think it's definitely necessary, and it's going to pay dividends in the season.
Josh, even when not playing in preseason game or games, what is the mental rep process, if you could walk through what that's like for you?
Yeah, obviously, I think around the league you don't really call what you're going to call in the season, but there is different ways that you can look at it in terms of, hey, this defensive coordinator that we're playing came from this system, so defensively, what are they doing? What can they do? And again, it's football at the end of the day. I love preseason because I get to sit back and cheer my brothers on and see guys compete, and they're competing at the highest level right now, trying to make a spot, and it's a fun time, and we're going to see some good football played, and we got guys that are really hungry.
Sean said earlier today that you're not going to play on Saturday, and I don't think anybody was surprised by that. Obviously, you're going to abide by what the coaches and the trainers want you to do, but if you had a preference in terms of preseason, do you have a preference whether you play or not?
No preference. At the end of the day, it's football. I love going out there and playing, so I don't know if it's game 2, game 3, no games, getting ready for obviously the season opener. Whatever coach says is what I'm willing to do, and we'll go from there.
Do you find a value in it? If you have played obviously in the past, last year I think it was maybe a half or something like that. Do you find value in it?
Yeah, just going against somebody else that's not your own defense is, I think it's valuable. But again, I don't think it makes or breaks anybody.
Lastly, on that point, I think because we talked last week and you had suggested that preseason might be important. The play calling, the relationship, and I know Vic touched on this. Are you cool with where it's at right now in terms of being prepared or the stage of preparation you're at for the regular season, whether or not you would see any action in any preseason?
Yeah, I'd definitely say I'm comfortable with where things are at between me and Dorse in terms of hearing his voice and understanding what he's calling, why he's trying to call it. But again, it doesn't hurt to get more reps at that. You can always be better at that, and he knows that. I know that. I think Coach McDermott knows that. So again, I'm not really sure the plan of preseason, but we'll play it by ear. And like I said, whatever Coach asks me to do, I'm willing to do.
It seemed like this camp was a little more chippy than normal. Aside from your situation last week we talked about, but there was some more stuff too. Did you feel that way, and why would that be?
Again, it's guys that want to win. It's guys competing. It's guys that, I know this sounds weird, do you want to win, but guys that don't want to lose. And I think to have that mentality each and every rep, nothing's going to be perfect. We understand that, but to try to be the best versions of ourselves, come out here and win all your reps, it's tough to do, and guys get heated when that doesn't happen or when it does happen for the other guy. So I definitely think it's just a lot of testosterone and competitive juices flowing, and I definitely think it's a good problem to have. Again, guys being very competitive and showing, wearing their heart on their sleeve.
Josh, we asked Case and Matt, what do we think they bring to the quarterback room from your standpoint? What do you think those guys bring, and how are they different?
Yeah, again, just the familiarity that I think I have with Matt in terms of relationship, trusting him, what he sees, and then the knowledge that Case has with all of experience in the league and playing on so many different teams and playing at such a high level. Again, he's an ultimate pro, and to have both those guys, obviously, we can just hang out and talk about life with each other, and then when the lights turn off, we get the film rolling, it's all about football. So it's a very good vibe. I'm very fortunate to have those two guys in the room with us, and Joe's been doing a great job, and Lubes has been doing a great job as well. So really, really love our quarterback room.
Josh, given how Dorsey likes to pace, especially during team drills on the sideline, what's he going to be like in a confined space up in the booth?
That I don't know. He's a fiery guy. I don't know if you guys have seen him on the sideline yet in practice. But again, talk about a guy that doesn't want to lose, that hates losing. He absolutely hates it, and that's why he was 38-2 in college. He never lets me forget it. 38-2. Oh yeah. I always try to jab at him, like, Coach, what were you, 36-4? He's like, 38-2. Anyways, yeah, he loves competing, and I've heard stories about him in the gym over there playing basketball with some of the other coaches, and the stories aren't too delight. You know, he's a fiery guy, and I love to have that from my offensive coordinator. And you know, I'm super excited for what he's going to bring to this offense.
What's the balance like?
If you consider Brian maybe a bit of a secondary father figure, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but would Dorsey be more of a brother type figure for you? Or
I mean, I think both of them are big brothers to me, and you know, my dad's my dad. I won't claim anybody else is, but again, the relationship, you develop different relationships with different people, but in terms of being able to trust somebody, obviously I trusted Dable with my life, and I think I'd be willing to say the same thing for Dorsey. And again, that's only going to continue to grow. But he's been in the room with me for the last 3 years, you know, so that trust and that faith that I have in him and me is already through the roof, you know, and it's only going to grow as time goes on.
If there's a challenge, and if that's, for sake of a better word, of getting into the new rhythm system of a new play caller, which Ken is, even though you have the relationship, what would that be? Has there been a big sort of a challenge that you've dealt with to get used to him?
Not quite, but everybody's got their own style, you know, personnel that they like using, certain concepts that are their kind of favorite. If they're willing to call the same play over and over if it keeps working, or if they want to switch it up. Like, there's some play callers that once they call a play, they cross it off, like, I'm not coming back to that. And there's some that are like, that worked, let's just keep running until they can stop it. So again, that's a fill out process where only game reps are going to be able to tell that, and you know, this preseason will be kind of a good tell of how that's going to go. So I'll have obviously a mic in my ear and be listening to it the whole time. But yeah, those are the only, I think, things that can differ, you know, from OC to OC.
How critical does having those offensive line guys get healthy factor into what you're doing overall in the offensive scheme from your position?
Yeah, it's you know, we need those guys. Those are the heartbeat of our team, and for them to get out there, I think, you know, last 2 days being able to have Roger and Spence back out there with Bates and Mitch and Doc, getting those reps and communicating with each other. Again, every guy's different calls, different inflections of their voice, how loud they're going to be. It all goes into play. So they got to be, you know, the line is all about communication, making sure everybody's on the same page, and then me getting that relay and then giving that to the backs and tight ends. So again, it's a process. It's going to take some time, but getting those guys back on the field, it's very nice.
It's a while to go till the season opener, but through camp, is there any teammate that made a jump that was really noticeable to you?
I think if you just look at, you know, the role that he's had with us the last couple of years, Isaiah McKenzie, you know, stepping into that slot role and competing obviously with Jamison, but in terms of owning the offense and understanding it and being, you know, open to communication in terms of what I see, what he feels like he should do on certain routes. You know, we know he's fast and we know he's got all the tools and all that. I think he kind of stands out to me, and you know, he's been doing a good job for us, and I'm excited to see how it goes for him.
We saw Jamison make a big play today. He's finally, you've been able to get out here with him healthy now that he's been out here. What does he bring to you in the offense? Yeah,
again, like his route running, he's very fluid. Obviously the short game quickness in terms of some of those little juke routes and option routes that we have, but I think you saw it on that play. I think he's got more long speed than people give him credit for. So to be able to open up like that and get going and kind of run away from guys, it's really good to see. And you know, we know what we were in the rack last year, and again, I think that's partly on me. You know, quarterback, it's a quarterback stat is rack. So giving them the option to catch and run, and once they can do that, I mean, you see that one play, I threw a 5-yard route and we're down the field 50-plus yards. So that's only going to help us out.
We talked a lot about you getting familiar with Dorsey and his new role and Joe Brady, but one guy you've spent a lot of time with is Mitch Morse. What's that relationship like, and having spent so much time with him, and how important is that relationship with a quarterback?
Extremely important. I mean, again, he's making a lot of the calls at the line of scrimmage, and I got to be listening to him, and what he sees and what he calls kind of goes. You know, we trust him that much, and for him to have all that on his plate and understand, like, our right side's got to be to this and our left side's got to do something else, you know, and he's a coach on the field. He really is, and and you have to snap the ball and block, and then we're asking him to pull on a lot of our different concepts. He's athletic, he's smart, he gets the job done. I freaking love the guy. I can't say enough things, nice things enough about him. But this year, like this training camp has been different. Like he's been so locked in. He got one vet day, and I wish we could have given him more, but we needed him that much. With some guys down, and he just put his head down. He kept working, and there were some days where, he seemed like he didn't have it, and then once we got in there and in between the lines, he just flipped a switch and he was able to go. So he's the man.
What do you like about Jameson's skill set?
Yeah, Jimbo, he's quick, he's physical, he's got some twitch to him. I think as a rookie, like he's extremely smart football-wise too. Like he understands the game. He understands, when he's breaking into a route to throttle down a little bit and give me good body language. So, again, as time goes on with more reps, he's only going to get better. And, we drafted him for a reason. He's here for a reason. So, whether that role right away is big or small, once he grows into it, he's going to be a huge asset for us.
I know the camaraderie aspect, there's so many big things, and then you guys all get together and you build as a team. Is there any one moment or one story that stands out, like your favorite memory from camp off of the field?
I mean, there's a few I can think of, but I probably shouldn't say. No. It's, just sitting in the dorm room playing Catan, getting treatment with the guys, and just sitting there watching TV and joking around, playing the word game, and just having a good time. It really is. And it's I love camp. I love hanging out with the guys. It's an awesome atmosphere to be around, especially when you have the type of guys that we have in our locker room, guys that genuinely love and care about each other. And when you get on the field, you can feel that.
Sean said that he wants to come back here. Now, you take a year at a time, but wants to be back here next year. I would assume, based on what you just said, that you're on board with that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you finish the shows you wanted to do?
I did. I binged a lot of shows. I finished Breaking Bad. I finished The Boys. I finished Terminal List, which was fantastic, too. People say me and Chris Pratt look alike. Just a little bit. But like Andy Dwyer, Chris Pratt from Parks and Rec.
Turkey burgers might be on the menu in Orchard Park.
They were when we went back there for our red and blue scrimmage, and our chef Mac, he was super proud of them. I thought they were fantastic. He even had the jalapenos out there for me, so hopefully we can get that thrown into the rotation regularly.
Gosh, how many autographs do you think you signed here at Fisher?
I don't know. A lot. Well, how much do you think I signed? Potentially up there, yeah. It's again, I try to sign just for the kids, and I try to. There's some you hate to see it, and you know it. And like there's some that you can tell that's not their item. So it is what it is. But I pick out the kids, and I do apologize to the adults, but kids are what kind of make this go. I remember being that kid, and that's where I'm at with it.
Signing for Case.
I skipped right by him. You saw it. I didn't care who he was. He was a grown man. I was skipping him.
Does neck? Yeah.
Dawson's neck. Yeah, he's a child still too.
Does your forearm or hand ever get like you're like, man, I got hit a lot today?
Sometimes, yeah.
What's the craziest thing you signed? Let's keep it going. Why not?
Besides the neck.
Yeah. The craziest thing I signed? I don't know. I signed a couple baseballs. I think that's kind of weird. It wasn't anything outrageous this camp, but it was a good time.
What's today's?
Thank you. Go Bills.